Yeah, Vijay, let's start.
Let's
Let's
start.
start the recording.
Good evening, everybody, once again. We are kickstarting a new webinar series in India for XenTegra. Name is Tech Talk Tuesday, which will be hosting once in a month, and which will be based on various topics. Like today, we are with Inuvika, and henceforth, whatever the product line we offer in XenTegra as a solution, complementing to the VDI and the cloud computing solutions. We believe in enabling the customers. The technologies which we will be talking further in this Tuesday Tech Talk would be related to that, in enabling a customer towards his mission of achieving a full VDI solution within his organization, on-prem or over the cloud. We believe in enabling IT to enable success for the customer. XenTegra's point of view, what we call it as a value relationship between the customer and the partner. We believe in just not going to a customer, providing him a particular code for a certain licensing or a particular product what he needs, sell it to him and forget it. We believe in implementing a solution to a complete satisfaction to a customer. When we talk about satisfaction, we believe in customer deriving value out of the solution in terms of achieving his business goals. At the same time, we believe in building up a relationship with the customer in terms of enabling the customer with the technology and how he can move forward with the technology and his business together, moving ahead. XenTegra's mission, as we say, is build a community of customers, employees, vendors, and then serve that community. The focus of the company, as we talk about VDI, on-prem or cloud, same way we believe in building a community towards that, and going forward serving it to them. Taking forward the XenTegra India leadership, when we talk about, we have Andy, who is the CEO, the founder CEO, who is presently available from North Carolina. Then we have Moin Khan, who is the global CTO and the CEO for India. Myself, Vijay Kalaudia, I had the sales for the country. I have Indrajit Gorpade joining with me as a Director Solution Sales in the calls with us. A brief introduction to you from XenTegra. When we talk about it's a company which is experts in end user and cloud computing, focused on VDI, hyper focused on digital workspace technologies and cloud computing. As I said, we believe in a complete satisfied customer. We have a passion for enabling and educate our customers to promote a user-centric workspace solution, accessible from any location on any device. Some of the XenTegra business model is very simple: build a community and then create solutions that serve that community. So when we talk about create solutions, we work with various OEMs like Citrix, VMware, Inuvika, which we're going to talk today, Microsoft, Nutanix, ServiceNow, iGen. And many more products are there which are not mentioned over here, which enables us completing the complete suite of products required for the customer in terms of a successful business-oriented implementation of workspace solutions. Moving forward, who is XenTegra? XenTegra was born out of need for customers, enablement, and true partnership. As I take you further and introduce, give a small brief about Andy as well as Moin, how XenTegra was born. It was born out of need, and how it became possible. I'll just give a small view about it. XenTegra business model is very simple. As I talked earlier, also build a community and then create solutions that serve the community. This is the vision statement of the company by Andy Whiteside, founder and CEO. So the company was formed in way back 2012 based on an idea that Citrix customers deserve a partner focused on Citrix solutions as their primary business focus. Andy himself graduated from North Carolina in 1997 before founding XenTegra. He was a system administrator, 2 years with Microsoft. 3 years he has worked with Citrix as a consultant. During that period, he realized there was a gap in between the model of just selling the services to the customer and actually delivering value to the customer. That's where Andy realized that there was a need for a partner to enable a partner towards the technology, what we implement and sell it to the customer. That's how XenTegra was born, and that's how Andy has founded this company way back 2012. Moin Khan, who is the global CTO, as well as he is the CEO for India. He has a equally deep experience, a techno-commercial experience on the hyperconverged solution as well as on the VDI solutions. When we talk about, he has also worked with Citrix almost for several years as a consultant. Worked in various different countries across the globe and has a deep knowledge about the technology. Both he and Andy shared the same vision, same views before they joined hands together in XenTegra, that there was a gap which needs to be fulfilled for the customers in terms of enabling the customers towards the technology. And that's how XenTegra today is built up. This is a small brief about XenTegra when we talk about XenTegra and then XenTegra India, where we are taking this flagship of XenTegra ahead for the customers in India, where we feel there is an equal opportunity and equal need of taking this niche initiative of building the community around the solution of the workspace, and at the same time serve them to the country in India as a subcontinent. Going forward, I will be introducing you to the two gentlemen from Inuvika, who have a very innovative product for the workspace solutions, who believe in equally delivering a value to the customer. There are certain, as I told you, both Andy and Moin have an extensive knowledge about Citrix. There are certain customers which are price conscious and who have certain requirements which are not like the complete suite of Citrix, but yes, there is a need of a workspace solution where Inuvika perfectly fits in serving the customers. I have Christine who joins with me from Inuvika, and Alex. I'll be handing over the presentation to them. They will take you through a small video and then give a small brief about the product, how Inuvika is implemented and how it is a value to a value solution on the workspace side for the customers. And further going down, a small demo of the product equally. During the presentation, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box, which we can get back to you with your email IDs. Going further, who is XenTegra? As a company, we are a reseller. We provide services to managed services and solutions on the products. I will stop my presentation, a small presentation of XenTegra over here, and I will move it, share the screen with Inuvika now. I think, Christine, you can take it over from here.
Yes, thank you very much, Vijay. So before I begin, I would like to thank you, Vijay and XenTegra, for the opportunity to participate in this event. Also, it's very interesting that given the strong relationship that XenTegra has had with Citrix, it's open to allow an alternative product to join your talk. So I will share my screen. What I'm going to do is share a quick video with you, and then a quick positioning of the solution so that you see what we're all about. And then after that, I will hand over to Alex Perkins. So can you guys see my screen? I hope. Here we go.
Inuvika OVD Enterprise is a digital workspace platform that allows users to securely access Windows and Linux apps and desktops on private or public cloud. Built on Linux, our product allows data centers to run more efficiently using less infrastructure while lowering their carbon footprint. We offer simplicity that is not available on other products. So what is simplicity? Let's show you. Other products have as many as 8 confusing admin consoles. Inuvika built a single, easy-to-use admin console where complex tasks like multi-tenancy can be set up with a click of a button, and we can install in hours as opposed to days. For users, everything is intuitive. With OVD's application mode, apps are integrated into the user's desktop so it looks and acts like it is natively installed. Ease of use for end users means lower support calls for IT. And how do we lower costs by up to 50%? Let's look at a typical setup for 500 users over 36 months. With the efficiencies of Linux and Inuvika's resource containerization that squeezes more users onto a server, you need less infrastructure than Citrix or VMware. You'll need fewer Windows server licenses. Citrix NetScaler is extra, while a secure gateway is included with OVD. Finally, our subscription and support are priced lower than the competition. Total savings can be in excess of 50%. Multi-factor authentication is extra on Citrix, but is already included on OVD, so savings can be even greater. Inuvika OVD is available in over 40 countries. Our customers include universities on 5 continents who use our product in labs and to deliver remote education, medical researchers using regulated private data at some of the world's largest genome projects, governments extending the life cycle of desktops by using our product and thin client software. We also have telco and financial services customers. Inuvika will continue to lead through innovation, including all new features in our single subscription price with no gimmicks. Sign up for a free trial now and see why so many customers around the world trust Inuvika every day. Inuvika OVD.
There. So that should give you a very good idea of on the commercial side of what it means and what the positioning is. It does a very financial comparison, but it's important because the only way that we can do that is how we build the product. It's a very consolidated, very modern type of architecture and type of product. So what I will do next is I will do the position of the product and why our customers and partners have chosen to work with us. So what we bring to the table, and this market has been in existence for quite some time, even though that it's going through a lot of changes in the last couple of years. You know, Citrix was bought out, and then VMware has also been bought by Broadcom. So there's a lot happening, new players, companies going into the cloud. Some of them are happy, some of them are not so happy. They rather stay on premises. But what I'm going to give here are the main reasons, and there are other reasons why you may want to consider our product as well. So we are an integrated solution delivering Windows and Linux. We were the first ones in the world that could do this many years ago. And there are things we can do with Linux that you cannot do with Windows in terms of efficiencies, as you saw on the video. You don't need a VPN. There's a single point of management. This is really important because it makes it simple. And it saves a lot of resources. It saves a lot of investment in education. So when we speak about costs, there are the costs that you saw in the video, but there are a number of other costs that allow you also to save money. So in terms of the affordability, you know, what you're going to be paying on the licenses, that there's a percentage there. There are the products that you don't need, but also you can replace and use thin clients. I mean, we have customers running on Raspberry Pis, for example, some universities with hundreds of Raspberry Pis in their labs. And that solves the problem that they were having, where students can go into the labs. You know, they're not prone to theft or that sort of a thing. If there is a problem, they just replace them. They went down from 50 people supporting that installation to 5 people today. It's quite amazing. And it's amazing also the number of tickets that they have has dramatically gone down. All of those things lower your IT cost. Also the fact that you don't need to have PCs with Windows or upgrade to the latest Windows environment. You can set up a Linux. You can extend the life of that PC as well, while keeping their own Windows and still accessing the environment because everything is centralized. So the fact that it's centralized makes it very easy for you to do the upgrades and the updates to the applications without having to involve and do work on the end devices, for example. Also the fact that we use a lot less hardware infrastructure, because when you do application virtualization on a share-based environment, you can include a lot more users into those VM machines than just a relationship of one-to-one. We have a relationship of many to one. So, you know, there are all those also we can help you setting up your business case, you know, depending on what your need is. Simplicity is a big thing. This is complex technology. Now, the fact that we can deploy in hours and not days, in a couple of hours, we can have a complete on-site virtualization environment running. This is quite unique. Also, the fact that you can run it on the cloud as a service, you have whatever options you think that you need to deploy. We can run on different types of clouds. It's very easy to integrate. The fact that we are multi-tenant ready, I think we're pretty much one of the only ones that has the tenancy component. It allows you to run tenant either with dedicated or share type of infrastructure. It's quite a powerful thing, especially if you are looking at big customers and then separating the way that they run it, like having the subcontractors, financial, or different faculties, for example. It's very flexible in allowing you to do that. And to have one console also is a big thing, because you can have one super admin and then you can have different levels of administrators as well. So the simplicity is there. And if you look at some of our courses, for example, it's only 3 hours, 2 days to be able to certify somebody for support. It's very simple and straightforward, but you do need to understand about operating systems as well. Now, protection of data is key, because whenever it comes to security, there's nothing more important than protecting your data. You decide whether you want that user to keep that data in his device or on a central basis. You can block all users from keeping data on their devices and just force them to keep the data on a file share, for example, or whatever you want them to keep that data. So no data needs to ever be stored on user devices. And we have a number of customers that have chosen that way because they have invested millions on that data. Genomics projects, for example, is one of those, where one of our customers has thousands of researchers around the world accessing a database that they have invested a lot. Creating one human genome costs quite a bit of money, and they have access to this data and work on the applications, but they cannot download it, cannot copy it, and so forth. And then you can have different types of alternatives, whether high availability, different types of high availability, just to make sure that your backup is reliable and your HA is there if you are running critical applications. Now, ease of use and management, we've spoken about simplicity, but also when it comes to the users, it needs to be a very simple, straightforward environment. It is a digital workspace. It is like logging on to your Windows or to your standard Windows, Linux as well. Or if you're using a Mac, we are the only ones in the world that can deliver something called application mode on a Mac. Yeah, and you see the applications as if they were installed locally. This is quite amazing. You don't need to be changing devices to access those apps. So pretty much from any type of device, you can access those. So this is the positioning. There are other reasons why you may want to evaluate us. We have all sorts of customers, as the video says. And the last thing that I would like to share with you before I hand over to Alex for a quick demo is we can offer, this is worldwide. If you come to our site, we have an access to a free trial platform. If you click there, basically it's going to take you to this screen. All you have to do is fill in the form. You get an email with your credentials you can log in and use. And you can use as an end user, or you can have the experience of an administrator. It is just for you to check and have the experience. You cannot keep data or do changes, so on and so forth. That would be more of a POC type of approach. This is just to give you a feel, but it's very powerful. We have pretty much a lot of people from around the world that use this facility. Having said that, I will stop sharing and hand over to Alex so that he shows you the product on the live demo.
Thanks, Christian. I'll just share my screen. Okay. So just a quick overview of our architecture. So devices connecting in are either local or remote to the solution. The main difference is that if they're local, they don't go via the secure gateway. Devices using OVD can be any device. We have a web client that works on HTML5, so anything with a modern web browser. There's a desktop client for Linux, Windows, and Mac. We support Chromebooks, most major thin clients, and Android and iOS devices. The user flow, if you're going to come in, we'll look at it from remote locations, is via the secure gateway, which tunnels everything through a single secured connection. It just uses port 443, so there's no need for any VPN. You end up at the session manager, which will then talk to your back office directory, such as Active Directory, to authenticate your username and password. It then goes across to the file server to bring online your user profile, and then goes across to the application servers, which are Windows, Linux, or a mixture of both, to deliver either an application or desktop session from the session-based application servers. I'll give you a quick demo of the product now. So we'll start here with the desktop client. The desktop client, as I said, available on Linux, Windows, and Mac. Two different modes. We have application mode and desktop mode. Application mode is seamless applications on a Mac. We're the only people in this space that can do this. Desktop mode gives you a windowed or full screen desktop experience instead. Security settings button here allows the user to manage their password. It also allows you to manage your two-factor authentication. So we have native two-factor built in, but we can also work with Duo and any other external provider. So if I go and hit connect now, what it's going to do is it's going to initialize the session. You'll notice in the background here, a load of icons are going to appear, and these are the applications being delivered to me from OVD. Just give us a moment here to finish off. So you can see now all the applications that are presenting into my desktop. So we now have a mixture of Windows and Linux applications. LibreOffice Writer, for example, from Linux, and then we have things like Microsoft Paint, which are coming from Windows. Applications are simply launched by loading the application, and you can just work in it. The desktop client also gives you additional functionality. So it gives you the ability to pass through your local drives. So you see it's pulling through all the drives here on my MacBook. So you can open and save files that are stored on the local machine. You can also print directly to your local printer. It also passes through any USB device within reason, so webcams, biometric readers, scanners, audio devices, that's all fully supported as well. You also get high resolution audio for VoIP uses, for example, and there's extreme compression and acceleration on HD video stream, so you can use 3D CAD applications with a server-side graphics card, you can watch YouTube, you can do all things like that. So that is application mode. We'll just come out of that and we'll just change mode here. So if I go and hit log out, you'll notice that all the icons now disappear. We switch over to desktop mode. Now we're going to get a desktop window instead. And this is going to be a Windows 10 style desktop experience. Because we are session-based, it's many users to one. So it could be up to 100 users per application server, as opposed to sort of that more traditional one-to-one VDI where you're only doing one user per application server in quotes. So you can see now we've got that desktop experience. We have the applications presented onto the desktop directly there. We have that start menu for that sort of traditional Windows look and feel, but the user can only access the applications they have permission to use. And again, we can go and simply load an application and begin working in it. So that is desktop mode compared. Now I'll go ahead and disconnect that session. So that session is now being held on the server. What we'll do now is we're going to restore that session, but we will take it over on the web client. So this is the web client. The web client offers two different ways to connect, much like the desktop client. We have desktop mode, which is a desktop in a browser, or we have portal mode, which is like application mode on the web. The product is also fully brandable, so you can change the logos throughout the entire product. So it can be branded if you're doing it in a hosted environment, or if you want to change it to your corporate logo. So we'll reconnect here, and what it's going to do now, it's going to restore the session exactly where we left off. So you'll see now my paint drawing is still open there, and I can continue working in it, and it's resized it and reformatted it to go into the web interface. But the behavior is very much the same. So if we just come out of desktop mode here, we'll switch over to portal mode just to show you the difference in function. So this is signing us back in again now. So this is going to be like the application mode on the web. So this is great for companies that just want to deliver a single or small subset of applications, for example, where they don't need that desktop wraparound. This is very popular sort of salespeople that are out and about on the road. where they just need to access a CRM solution, for example, or an ERP. So on the right-hand side, you have an optional file window, which is the user's profile. On the left-hand side, you have all your applications. But again, it's as simple as clicking an application. It just loads and you can begin working. So very, very straightforward. So that's the user experience. I'll just give you a very light tour of the administration console. So the administration console is web-based, single pane of glass. Everything you need to do in OVD after a basic installation is managed from here. This system here is multi-tenant enabled already. So across the top, we have a number of grayed out sections. So if we go and jump into a tenant, you'll see it all gets enabled. So across the top, we have our different tabs. I'll just take you through and highlight a few features. So if you're using our multi-tenancy, your tenant controls are all controlled from here. So you can add and remove your tenants. You can set which servers are allowed to be shared and which are dedicated. Very, very easy to configure in here. Your license key management is all controlled from here as well. OVD is licensed based on concurrent users. So it's just the number of users connected and using the system at any one point in time. We don't offer a named user or named device model, as it's just less flexible. You can have multiple administrators that can be single tenant, multi-tenant, or global. You can also set administrative policies to reduce the amount of permissions that administrators have. So you can make it so they can manage certain pages, view only on other pages, or remove certain pages for their management altogether. The users tab gives you all of your user administration. If you're using a directory service, your users and groups get read into here automatically. And then you just do your publishing straight to your existing users. You don't have to go and recreate all your users. If you're using two-factor, it's very easily configured in here, and you can choose to enforce or enable certain modes. You can whitelist networks, and you can also configure external SAML2 based authentication sources as well. We have a messaging console that allows you to communicate with your users. This allows you to push messages out, like a privacy notice, for example, and allow you to track the responses. And you can use this for any sort of message that you want to communicate. You can make it so it can't be dismissed and so on. But it does allow you to run compliance reports against the responses that have been recorded by the system. The servers tab allows you to see what servers are being shared with your tenant, or if you're in a single tenant system, with the entire environment. From here, you can also go in and you can look at the resources that are being consumed by each of the servers. So for example, we can see this is 15% memory usage on this specific server, and it's shared with the following tenants. You've also got in here your load balancing settings for how users get distributed between available application servers. And it's also worth mentioning that OVD, it can be fully highly available, so you can have multiples of every single role and load balancing between them, even geographically located data centers if you need to. The applications tab is all the applications that the user can have access to. The applications are simply installed in your application servers. We have an OVD agent that sits on there. It pushes them into this list. You add them to an application group and you publish them to your users. It's a very straightforward publishing model. For custom applications, we have something called static applications. So these can be copies from the main list that are customized, or completely unique applications, legacy applications, things that need a script to launch or something else to load. But you can be completely custom with what's actually happening. So this is Google Chrome from the main application list, and we've customized it to put this app command on the end and take it off to a URL, but the user just sees book a demo with the Inuvika logo. The storage tab gives you access to all your user profile management controlled by the farm, shared folders that are being delivered by the OVD infrastructure, and also the ability to have external storage. So Windows or Linux file shares that you want to present to your users, you can simply just deliver those as part of the session. The sessions tab allows you to see a user summary, first of all, so you can see how the user's been set up, what they should have access to, the permissions they have, whether they're able to log in. You've then got your session settings, and these are the global settings that control things like printing, time restrictions, USB, copy and paste, multi-monitor, but you can override these on a user and a group level also. You don't have to just do this for all users at once. And there is also support for login scripts for anyone that needs that. And finally, we have the status and reports tab. So from here, we can see running sessions. We can go into a session and shadow a user with their permission and control their session. We can also see the memory and CPU they're using. OVD also has something called resource containers, which allow you to limit the amount of CPU and memory a user can consume inside their session. So similar to products like AppSense or Citrix VMware, This is all built into the product free of charge, and it's very, very easy to set up. So it gives you VDI predictability on sizing and performance on a shared based environment. You then have a number of reporting logs on the side here, session history reports that allow you to see what a user's actually done inside that session. So you can see the log file specific just to that user, what applications they should have access to, any applications they've used, and even sort of details right down to the specific OVD client that they're using. And then you have a number of additional logging and license reports on the left-hand side here, and you've got your messaging reports for tracking the responses. But that is the quick tour of our product. I make it look very simple, but it is as simple as it looks. Any questions, please ask. Thank you. Back to you, Christian.
Thanks, Alex,
Okay.
for a wonderful demo and as well as presentation. It was quite an insight into a product like Inuvika and how it can fit to a customer's requirement, both commercially and technically. We will wait for some questions if they are there so that we can answer, or we can take it offline by the mail. We'll wait for 2 minutes.
They can always go to our website and go for a free trial as well, or contact us at sales@inuvika.com, for example, or maybe you, VJ, you may have a contact point in XenTegra that they may reach out if they're interested.
Yeah, they can directly email it to me on vijay.kalavati@XenTegra.com.
Okay. Great.
Things can be answered. Indrajit, you want to add something from your side?
Oh no, Vijay. Are we good with? I don't know anything else.
Wait for a minute more and then we'll close the session. I would once again thank Christine and Alex for your support.
Our pleasure. Thank you for inviting us.
I think we can end the session. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine. I think if they had questions, they would have asked already. So
Okay.
we're good.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.